Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. I know you're looking around saying, wait a minute, this is not the Tina Ramsay Show podcast, but I see Tina. I see she trucking. So, what is exactly going on? I am happy to announce that I am the host of She Trucking Podcast, helping you to understand the perspective in particular of women, okay, and how they play a great part in this industry. And so we're going to be having some candid conversations about the trucking and transportation industry, bringing on experts and ones within the field to share their expertise with all of you so that we as consumers, as community leaders, as regular people in the community can not only know the challenges that our truckers face, but also support them, because in the limelight, listen, the truckers keep the economy going. So without further ado, it is time for the She Trucking Podcast. Thank you, Sharae Moore, which is the CEO of She Trucking Podcast, LLC, Foundation, and so much more. We have some amazing people in the back room, and I'm just so excited to bring them on because these are some phenomenal women. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the She Trucking Podcast.
DJ Tony Duck.
She gon' take care of her bitch, she truckin', She a woman with a rig, she truckin', She gon' take care of her kids, she truckin', yeah. She a boss, she do it big, she truckin', She truckin', She a boss, she do it big, she truckin', She a woman with a rig, she truckin',
And just like that, we are back. And I come along with some amazing women in the back room, the amazing Wanda Billups and also Briana Stewart. So let's go ahead and bring them on today. Both of them are owner-operators, and yes, they drive a truck. Okay, so today we're going to be talking with them about the trucking industry in whole, but it's things that's going on within the trucking industry right now that we as regular people don't realize what's going on, but it's affecting them, and then it's going to trickle down and affect us as well. So ladies, first of all, thank you so much for coming on the show, because I know that you're busy. We have one in the truck right now, Briana, so I know that you're busy. So thank you for coming on. First up, Wanda, tell us a little bit about what you do in regards to the trucking industry so that our guests can get to know you a little bit better.
Okay. Excuse me. Hi, my name is Wanda Billups. I've been in the truck industry, excuse me, since 2000. I was like, hold on.
Well, it's okay.
With me today.
It's okay. Let me tell you, we coming in. That's why I tell everybody to have some water.
I've been licensed since 2000. I became an owner operator in 2000 and I'm sorry. Yes, I became an owner operator in 2005, and hence starting my business, BF Trucking. I've been incorporated since 2005. I've been in the construction industry hauling semi-dump. From there, I went to hauling containers for a large container company since 2017, of where I decided to obtain my own authority. So now I'm a motor carrier. I often operate a small fleet, but right now it's just me due to a lot of circumstances in the economy. Also, I mentor women in the She Trucking group. A lot of women come to me asking me how to start their authority, how to run their business. So I offer free information to women. I have to pause.
Okay.
I'll come right back.
Thank you so much. And so right now we're gonna let Wanda gather like she have a little tickle in her throat. So right now we're gonna talk with Briana Stewart. Now tell us a little bit about you, because you're also a truck driver as well. And so tell us a little bit about that and your journey to being a part of the transportation industry.
Yes, Tina, thank you for having me. I've started trucking about 5 years ago, going on 6. I converted from the medical field. I was a medic, and I just wanted to try something else. And since I've been in it, it's no turning back. Even during the trying times, So I started as a company driver. Utilized a lot of the resources from the internet, trying to see what are some of the more reputable companies to drive for. When I first got in, there weren't a lot of people that looked like me in these trucks, but She Trucking is a great place to find those resources. And what I have been able to do is become an owner operator. I have my own truck. I'm based out of Houston, Texas. I do mostly regional to local runs now. Just tapping into port work, and because of the fuel, the way things are going, I'm trying to stay as local as possible, and just learning, within the group, how to maneuver and how to scale my business.
Okay, well, thank you so much for coming on, because we're going to definitely go more into the topic of the fuel topic, which is not only affecting us as consumers and just regular civilians, but it's definitely putting a pinch, a stalemate perhaps with our truckers, and we're not aware of it. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about She Trucking for those of you who may not be familiar with this, because right now, currently, we are running this show live on multiple She Trucking platforms, including the podcast, along with simultaneously streaming it on the Tina Ramsay Show and podcast, and on other social medias as well. So hello, social media world. Make sure to like, follow, and share. So for those of you who do not know, you see all this She Trucking going on. You don't know what we're talking about. She Trucking is multiple different things up under the She Trucking umbrella, but we are focusing now on the She Trucking Foundation, Inc. You can go check it out at shetruckingexpo.com. What exactly do we do? It's a nonprofit 501(c) organization that is committed to helping women and minorities establish and maintain successful careers in the transportation industry. If you are interested in becoming a member, then you can go to www.shetruckingexpo.com. We also have our CEO, Sharae Moore. We have Dr. Erica, who is also the COO, and we have Jerry Banks, who is the secretary, and you have yours truly, who is virtual correspondent. So I am happy to be here with you all on today. So let's jump back into the conversation of what does the future look like? Because Briana, you actually said something that was very key. You said you transitioned from the medical to trucking. However, you noticed that it wasn't too many people that looked like you. So could you elaborate on that?
Coming in, it's a male-dominated field still to this day. But as time has progressed, I see a lot more women, a lot more minority that are in these trucks and doing the same thing everyone else is doing. Unfortunately, sometimes we don't get the same opportunities. And that's been a big thing for me, really being able to share the knowledge that I gain and being able to give it to other people so they don't have to make some of those same, errors or, but it wasn't, and it is now. And I hope that it continues to grow and we see more Black women, more minorities, but also more importantly, we're able to work together, and build together and eat together, because it's a lot of money out here. But it really does require us all to be on the same accord.
Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to take us a commercial break, and then we'll be back in a moment. We're going to talk about this fuel situation, because I really don't think we understand. You mean the ones who live in communities, the regular consumer, we don't really understand what's going on because we're just thinking about our personal things. We're not thinking about the big picture. So we're going to talk about that once we come back from a commercial break. We'll be back right after this.
King, can you read it for me, please? Thank you. What did that say?
Like this. There are cars everywhere.
Bobby's, you're about to get on the interstate,
Oh
so
my
slow
God.
the truck down.
Oh God.
Slow the truck down. Slow, for real, slow the truck down. Stay over here on the left, okay? Take your high side, go up here, okay?
I cannot believe I'm getting on the interstate.
Accelerate, accelerate, accelerate. Stay on this side, accelerate, go faster. Go faster, faster, Bobby, faster.
Crap.
Look at all this traffic.
There are cars everywhere.
And then we're gonna take it to the highest gear that you've ever been in. We're gonna take it to the 10th gear.
Now?
Now. There we go.
10th gear right now!
And just like that, we are back and we have our amazing guests in the back room. Just in case you was wondering who was giving Bobby Bones them instructions, that's the CEO of She Trucking, which is Sharae Moore, okay? And she is the visionary behind everything that we're doing here, bringing women together like the amazing Wanda and Briana, who also volunteered their time within the community to help women to overcome the different pitfalls and different things that they have experience within the industry to give you the resources, the awareness, and most of all, the support that you need in order to be successful in this industry. So let's talk about gas. I want you to break down why, as a whole, everybody, whether you are a trucker or not, we need to be paying attention to this and how it directly impacts the trucking industry with what you and Wanda does. Wanda, would you like to share first?
Sure. Fuel prices. As we know, those who've been in the industry, fuel is continuing to rise. It doesn't look like it's slowing down anytime soon. Us being owners, we have to decide, is it beneficial for us to move those trucks, or is it beneficial for us to stay home? Which, of course, I don't know who has thousands and thousands of dollars in the bank to sustain a household while not working. A lot of us, even though we're running businesses, a lot of us are still paycheck to paycheck. So, that truck has to be moving in order for us to continue to take care of our households. So, it's a constant struggle with the brokers not adjusting the rates. They refuse to, compensate us for the extra fuel prices. They want the owner operators, the owners, to take the hit right now. They don't want to accommodate for the fuel. So the freight prices are continually to go down, along with freight disappearing. Where's the freight actually going? I don't know. In a crisis like this, we should have more freight, but everything, the odds are stacked against us right now. With the prices so high, like I said, you have to. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You have to decide, if you actually want to run a truck. So, you got women with children at home. You have women, that's trying to get away from their home life. So with the fuel prices up, and trying to continue to run a business, it's going to be very hard. And they're expecting the rates to go further in the up direction. So as far as the business right now, it's kind of hard to foresee.
So what you're basically saying is, with the fuel prices going up, what I want everybody out there that who do not drive a truck, I want you to understand that they do not ride on the same fuel that we do, some good old regular, maybe some plus. They have to get that diesel, that expensive gas, right? Then they have to travel. So what you're saying is that they are incurring these costs on the drivers if it goes over now?
Yes, because the shippers, well, we really don't know if it's the brokers or the shippers. The shippers
Okay.
the brokers are blaming the shippers, and we're blaming the brokers. Um, shippers usually, the large carriers or large brokers, most of the time they have a contract with the shipper.
Mm-hmm.
That contract usually locks in their rates for 18 months or so. So brokers usually have a set price of
Mm-hmm.
which you may haul a particular load for. So with that being said, let's say, for instance, this is just an example. Let's say, for instance, a load going from Illinois to Michigan. The broker has these loads set where they have so many loads from a shipper. They may have 100 loads per month from a particular shipper, and that load is to pay them, say, $1,800 for every load. So the broker has a rate, but of course they're not going to pass that rate to us. So a broker can negotiate with the carrier. A broker might, they're already getting 1,800, but of course the broker wants to get as much of that out of that as they can. So a broker may put that load on a spot market and pay a driver, let's say, $1,000 for that load, which the broker will take home 800, and the carrier will get 1,000. So within that $1,000, we have to incur our fuel prices. So let's say if I may make, that run may cost me $250 in fuel, and they're only paying me $1,000. So when the fuel goes up, now that same load is only paying me $500, because now I'm paying $500 in fuel to do that run. So instead of the broker adjusting the rates so that I can make, at least the same amount of money that I've been making on that load, they're unwilling to do that. And on top of that, now instead of paying $1,000 for that load, they're only paying $800. So it's
Wow.
getting bad.
Wow. And so it sounds like to me that it is not enough transparency between the broker. It seems as if the broker and the shipper doing all this communication, but then the person who actually, the owner, operator, or the driver who is transporting this, is left in limbo and pretty much depending on them to provide equal pay or however it is. And they're not really looking out for the driver. They're looking out for themselves to make sure that they can get what they want to get. So it seems as if that the industry needs to have transparency in this regard.
Correct.
Everyone that's involved should have totally disclosure of what's going on, how much this load costs, how much it's going to do the transfer, how much that broker getting on this deal, how much the breakdown of everybody, because the only person that's in the dark is the one that's driving, which is you all.
Exactly.
And we take on the bulk of the responsibilities when it comes to our insurance, our time. We're sitting at these doors for hours and hours and hours just to be loaded. Sometimes the info isn't disseminated correctly, so we're at the wrong spot or drop. So it's a lot of stuff that we have to endure, and they're behind a computer dictating how things are going to go. It does need to be transparency, but the broker needs to be capped. They should get a certain percentage of what that is, because right now it's very unfair to the drivers.
I agree with you on that. It should be total transparency along with a cap, because then they can't get greedy. They can't get greedy. So here you are, ladies doing the work. Well, men too, that's out in the trucking industry. But in particular, what I noticed is that men may get a certain amount for the exact same load that you're doing, but they offer you pennies on the dollar. And then you're pushed as a woman maybe you have children, or maybe you might be single, but you have stuff that you need to pay for. So you're faced with the decision, am I going to take this load at a lower rate just to get by with my regular day-to-day needs, or am I not going to do it? So do you face with that, Wanda and Briana? Are you faced with that?
Absolutely. Just like back hauls. When I get to Michigan, I have to get back home. The brokers know that. Everybody knows that. So, why are we getting a less rate? It's the same amount of miles. Why are we getting less than half the rate to come back? We're still driving 250 miles. It's still costing us the same amount of fuel. So why are you able to pay us less money on that same load? You know what I'm saying? And then also, now they know you're struggling to get back. So now they're even dropping their rate down even more, because they know, okay, that person don't want to drive all the way back home for free. So sometimes you're forced to take, 100 to, well, not that low, but you're forced to take way less for a load that you really should be taking. And that makes it a problem in the industry, because once one carrier accepts that low rate, that sets a standard. So hey, I ran this for $200 yesterday, so hey, you're gonna run it for $200 today, which is not really the carrier. Well, you could put some blame on a carrier because they took it, but at the same time, that carrier has to do something. They want to make something coming back. A lot of us can't. Well, some carriers can't afford to just deadhead or bobtail home, so they are forced to take those low rates. So it's kind of hard.
So would you like to add on that, Briana?
Yeah, it just to piggyback off of what Wanda's saying, it does, sometimes you don't have a choice but to take what is available. But there are carriers that will take anything. And until we can unite on one front and not take those rates at all, they're going to give us whatever they want, and it's unfortunate, but like I said, unifying and maybe building a panel where we can all be transparent and form a dialogue as into, I gave you this rate because of this, and this is where we're at. It's going to continue to be the way it is until we do that, I believe.
I agree with you. So everyone who is listening in, this is the She Trucking Podcast. I am the host, Coach Tina Ramsay, and Sharae Moore is actually the CEO of everything that is She Trucking. All right. She's everywhere and she's an amazing person. And these are two wonderful ladies, Wanda Billups and Briana Stewart, which is talking about the future of trucking in regards to women and also being a female driver that is a minority. What exactly is going on in the economy today? You may not know, but it is a underlying situation going on in the trucking industry. And what we're doing, we're bringing awareness to this. I want you to hear and see what trucking looks like and how we as our onlookers can do our part with changing how this is going, because truckers, transportation is the economy. Without that facet, that element, the way that we live will cease to exist if we don't get this together. And with the fuel prices going up, and a lot of truckers have to make a decision whether or not they're going to drive or not, because everything is just so astronomically high, we're going to start feeling it. If you have not already felt it already, we're going to be feeling it months and months after this already broadcast. So we're coming with the problem and we're bringing solutions. So as Briana said, we need to have open, candid conversations about this. Wanda brought up that we need to also, it needs to be some transparency in regards between the brokers and the shippers, and also making sure that and most importantly, the drivers have the information that we need. And Wanda, you did mention that sometimes women truckers are not just necessarily driving because they want to drive a truck. They may be driving because they want to escape from unpleasant home environment. So can we talk about that just a little bit?
Sure. So we get women in the trucking industry. Me being in the she trucking platform for I think about 5 years now. We get a lot of communication from women that's at home with a abusive husband or abusive mate. They need to get out of the house. They want to get away from home. Looking for a way to support their family. While trying to escape, abusive situations. We come from a wide array of situations. Women struggle with all kinds of things. So, just trying to find something to do where they could support their family and, get away from dangerous situations. So that's a lot of women in the community. Wow, it's just, it's a lot that people don't foresee. You may see a lady in a truck and you have no idea of what her home situation or what her home life was. So, we need to support, these women out here. Because like I said, you never know what's going on back at their. Some of them are homeless. Some don't have a home to go back to. Some are actually out here living in their trucks. That's all they have is their truck. So there's women on the road that's their whole life. So without being able to run that truck, there's no life for them.
I didn't even think about that. So I need everyone who listening in, who will be watching later on streaming TV. I need you guys to understand what's going on. Here we have the trucking industry. We have the fuel costs. We have all these different policies that we need to have policy procedures that are in protection of the driver. Because apparently the brokers and the shippers, they have their stuff in line, but the ones who are actually running this stuff, which are our drivers, they're getting basically scraps and they're having to make adjustments based on the economy and the current gas prices that is taken away from them. It is a hard job. That's hard work out there. And so, ladies, let's just talk about, for me, being a part of She Trucking. And for those of you who do not know, She Trucking also has the largest Facebook group for women and minorities. So you will see about 30,000 women there. And this is that education and awareness and everything that we have been talking about, whether we hear these stories. So the last thing that I want to talk about a little bit is you are in a male-dominated industry and you need to make a stop. Do you see anything when you go is it safe for women? That's what I want to talk about. Is it safe for women in your opinion? I know what I think because I've been to some of them truck stops. But what do you think? And what do we need to do about it?
I think it's as safe as you if you're aware of what's going on, you always have to have your head on a swivel. You always have to read the room. If you don't have your phone in your face, you have to be aware at all times, and that's anywhere. But definitely at these truck stops, because you have people who they're traffickers. That is a real thing. You got truckers that don't have the same intentions as you. So when I get into my truck, I'm safe, but you have to be aware at all times. Now, the truck stops do not cater to women. As I said, it's a male-ran industry, so there aren't things like menstruation supplies, things that women need that readily available. If there are, it's very basic. It's not a one size fits all type of thing, but that's what they provide. So it, in a sense, not the safest place, but you have to make it safe for yourself.
Okay. All right. So Wanda, do you have something you would like to add?
Yeah, pretty much the same thing. You have to be aware of your situation. You have to try not to make yourself seen. You know, we have women that, I'm not saying that what you wear or what you do warrants violence to happen to you, but I mean, you have to be conscious that, you know, the person next to you or watching you walk from your truck to that truck stop is might not be in their right mind. You know, of course, you know, what you wear shouldn't, you know, make a person want to do something to you, but you know, that's what people do. So when you're out there, I wouldn't wear skin tight clothes, you know, because it just brings attention to yourself, you know. And when you're in a truck stop, you know, I would not sit when you're getting ready to park. I wouldn't sit in that front seat. You know, I would make it where they don't know who's in that truck, you know, when you're sleeping. You know, when you're ready to go to bed, you don't want everybody to know, hey, it's a lady, there's a lady in that truck, you know. So don't bring so much attention to yourself. Don't sit in the front seat playing with your phone, um, you know, playing on your tablet, whatever. When you pull into the truck stop and you're ready to go to sleep, climb in that back and close those curtains. That way they don't know who's in that truck. But if you're getting out the truck, you go on a shower, you're walking all the way back to your truck, and now you're sitting there, they know exactly who's in that truck and they know you're about to go to sleep. You know, you have to you have to make it where, you know, it's not obvious that, you know, there's a lady in that truck. So you have to always be pay attention to your surroundings. When you get out the truck, you definitely have to look around because they prey on people who's not paying attention. If they know that you're paying attention, then a lot of times, you know, they won't bother you. But if you're out here, you're on the phone, you talking, you're not paying attention, you walking in a truck stop, and you just, you know, so happy go lucky, you know, that's bringing attention to yourself and is making yourself a target. So is it safe? Like Briana said, it's as safe as you can make it for yourself.
Yes, and see, you need to have that awareness. Like, I personally do not drive a truck. I have been supporting the she trucking community for over 4 years now. But being, you know, working like going in the trenches, so to speak, going to these truck stops, it's a whole different world. And like you ladies was saying, they're not so great people there. They're targeting certain type of people. And we know that human trafficking is on the rise. So ladies, when you are at these truck stops, take the advice of the ladies who are actively driving trucks now. It is as safe as you make it. And so what we're doing now, we're providing you with the problem of safety for women at truck stops, and also giving you solutions. They're telling you tangible things that you can do in order to keep yourself safe. Like Briana said, keep your head on the swivel so you can be like, wait, something's not right. You need to learn how to read the room. Like Wanda said, appropriate. Well, I want to say, because everybody has a different definition of what appropriate is.
Right. I want to cross that line.
I don't want to cross that line because we have the right to wear whatever we want to wear, but you need to be mindful that some people are looking for a certain type of woman, and sometimes based upon what you're wearing makes you fit that category. And so keeping that in mind, that you're watching them as well as they are watching you, and not talking on your phone. Hello, not talking on the phone and not paying attention. Exactly. Don't bring attention to unnecessary attention to yourself. And so let's talk a little bit about, you brought up, Briana, about the truck stops are really not conducive to taking care of our essential needs as being women. Menstrual hygiene products, simple washcloths, you know, our feminine wash wipes, different things like that. If they do have it, it's very basic and it's not a one size fit all, so to speak, kind of thing. So for ones like myself, ones who support the transportation and trucking industry, what do we need to do to make sure that this is different? so that we can have these type of things in there for you. Because I mean, that's a necessity of life. It's not like you're asking for something that is not, that's way out. It's basically body function. So what do we need to do?
I mean, on the basic form, you can advocate for us. You can send a tweet. Hey, Loves. Hey, Pilot. Hey, Petro. Do you have us our best interests in mind? We're in this industry, but I don't rely on them. I get what I have to do to cater to myself. Of course, there's times when you're in an emergency or a bind, you have to, rely on them. But I try my best to supply my own stuff because they just haven't in the time that I've been evolved for that. So for people who are not in it, I would just suggest that they advocate it and bring it to their attention like we do. If we make enough noise, they'll see us, they'll hear us.
Exactly. And I totally 100% agree with you on that. Everybody plays a role in this. Just because you're not a truck driver or in the transportation industry, whether you are owner operator or whatever way that you find yourself in the trucking industry or not, it doesn't matter. It takes one sound, one voice in order to make change. Okay. And so what we're doing today, you're going to see a whole lot of different truckers come through, some mostly female, but also males too, because they support the She Trucking movement. You're going to see us talking about bringing awareness to these topics, because at the end of the day, we need to protect and make sure that policies are in line to protect the driver. Because in all these scenarios, the driver is left to the bottom. It's like if it's a pyramid or a chain, everybody up to the top and everybody take. Then it gets down to the driver, the person who is actually driving the essential products to the stores around the country. They're getting very little. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. That just don't make sense to me. That don't make any sense to me. So we have a long comment here. Hey, how is everybody? Is there any way that I can help out by giving trucking information from any women who want to get involved in trucking or having support in the industry? It doesn't matter. As a fellow independent contractor, I have so much respect for truckers. Thank you, Curtis. So he want to know how he can help. He can pass out some flyers or different stuff like that. Well, you definitely can. I'll make sure to get you some of that, because we do have pamphlets and trifolds and all of that. And you can also follow the ladies. You can go follow us on our social media platforms outside of the group. Now, the She Trucking group, which is 30,000 women, that's for the women only. But we also have outside places like the She Trucking podcast, She Trucking LLC, Foundation, all of that, of which men can actively participate in and support. Okay. Cheryl said, I've been out here for 26 years. She said, they tell you right. Today's world is much more dangerous than back in the day. But even then, we ladies watch out for ourselves. So dress down, wear work clothes. But the men today, no respect. Like then, men, we got to have respect for each other. And Curtis said, amen. So basically, all this information that they gave you, we gave you problems, and then we turned around and gave you solutions. So if you know that you don't feel safe at these truck stops, me being a person that volunteer a lot and handing out PPE boxes or even feminine hygiene products to women, I know how it is out there. And it's like a different world. I mean, at first I went out there naive. I just want to help the truckers. And then somebody pulled me to the side and said, baby, because they thought I was much younger than I am. They say, make sure you pay attention and do not walk there. Do not walk here. You stay in the front. Make sure. Do you have a man that you can bring with you so he can kind of like stand, even if you are talking with them, that he can kind of stand behind you? So that, do you have some people? And I was like, So I called Sharae. I'm like, Sharae, what's going on? She was like, oh, yeah. So she's like, do this, do that, do this, do that. And so now I have my head on the swivel every time I'm at a truck stop. and I don't even go in the restrooms. I mean, it has to be a dire situation for me to go into the restroom at a truck stop. I will get in the car and go to another store before I do that because I'm so tiny. I'm still like, no. So the thing is this, ladies, we talked about the gas and the inflation of the prices. We talked about how that affects you guys directly. We have not talked about how, Sharae's here. Hello. Go to the She Trucking Foundation Inc. page for anyone that would like to provide app support to the trucking industry, meaning women in trucking, to support them, to keep them safe, and also bring awareness to these topics that we're talking about. Lastly, we need to make sure that we take care of our women mental health, because let's face it, life in general is not easy. But then when you put a woman in a situation in a male-dominated industry, and then you don't see too many of people who look like you when you go to these places, it can cause mental strain. It can cause mental strain. And so do you think it should be more things in place for women to have access to, like daycare services, mental health, also having just people rallying behind them? Briana or Wanda?
There should be. And I believe Wanda touched on it before. We can create our own networks to do that. But in the meantime, we have to be there for each other. And we also have to know when to reach out for help. Mm-hmm. A lot of women are strong. They're going to go through and persevere. But you really have to be able to say, hey, I need help. You know, it's not just you. It's a collective fort that can assist you. But people, sometimes you be smiling and people don't know what you got going on the inside. So it is important to talk, to communicate, to reach out, and know that you're not in this alone. It's a lot of people that are going through a lot of things inside and outside of trucking. So
exactly. So if there's anything else that you ladies would like to say, we're going to cut this a little bit short because we have a lot that's going on. We're going to have some interviews, and you will be seeing Briana and Wanda again in these interviews because they play an intricate role in She Trucking as well, not only as advocates, but most of all as women in the trench of things, driving a truck, being an owner and operator. Their wealth of information and knowledge is greatly appreciated. And I want to personally thank you, along with Sharae, for all the tireless work you ladies been doing within the community and helping behind the scenes that no one else sees. We appreciate you. Thank you for being a part of the community and being an active participator, just bringing that one vision, which the foundation is about, bringing that advocacy, dealing with diversity, equality, and inclusion in the transportation industry. So thank you for making it a safe place in She Trucking.
And we will be at the Mid-America Truck Show. So you can come check out me and Briana. We both will be there. So come on out, support. We need to see more faces like ours there. So come on out to the Mid-America Truck Show. She Trucking booth. The number is, what's booth? She Truckers booth number? I don't have it on hand. All right, there we go. You're quick with them hands. So come on now, support She Trucking at the Mets.
Yes, at the Mats. And let me flash it again, just in case you guys did not see it. They will be at booth number 40577. I will be, for those of you who are not able to participate by going physically in the building, we will have a virtual tie-in. But if you can be there, please go, because this is a way in which all our voices can be heard and change all of this that's going on right now, because we definitely need what the truckers have. We cannot get by without truckers. It's some jobs that can phase out. Trucking cannot phase out, okay? Because if trucking phase out, the way that we live, the comforts that we have is going to be in the past, because you're going to go in these stores. I know some of you are feeling it. I see it over here in South Carolina. Some of the shelves are empty. Who you think bring that stuff? These ladies. But we need to take care of them. We have some ones that said, I can say I've learned a lot from you ladies. New driver. Oh, we have a new driver. She's so make sure if you're not a part of She Trucking, go ahead and join. We have Bonnie in the house. We have Miss Jerry. Thank you, ladies. We appreciate the both of you.
Hey, Bonnie.
She also put the booth number. Jennifer's in the house.
Hey,
Jennifer.
Jen.
And we have Nadia. She said, Mid-America Wear. Okay, I'm going to pop it up one more time. Jennifer said, great job. Well done, ladies. And it's March the 24th through the 26th. Let's see. We said, come, Queens. We want to see you. That's what Miss Jerry said. So for those of you who missed it, here it is again. It is booth 40577. It's going to be March the 24th through the 26th. It's going to be in Kentucky. We're going to be seeing, if you go over to anything that says She Trucking, especially go to the SheTruckingExpo.com, you will be able to see all of these updates. And if you have not signed up for the newsletter as of yet, we encourage you to do so, because that is how we keep you updated in regards to what's going on with She Trucking. Oh, Sharae in the building. She said, thank you, ladies. You're welcome.
Hey.
And Bonnie, she said, talk about them being leaders, administrators in the community. Yes, okay. She want me to talk about you guys being leaders. Look at Briana like, I don't want to talk about myself. All right. So, Briana, where do you, I would say your position with She Trucking? You serve as what?
I guess I'm lead admin for the group. We try to find members that are outspoken and that can contribute, and put them as moderators as well to help and pass on information as we get it, because things change so quickly in this industry. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I just I do a lot of admin behind the scenes stuff, and any of the information that I get, I try to mentor and pass it on.
All right, thank you. And Wanda, tell us where do you serve in She Trucking? A whole lot of places.
Yeah. Whenever Sharae needs me, I'm there. I'm a mentor in the group. I'm not that very hands-on in the Facebook community because I do run a couple other businesses, but I'm always welcome to help other women that reach out to me. When Sharae say, I got this going on, I need you to be here, I'm there. I'm working pretty much behind the scenes a lot of the time, but I'm there.
Yes. All right. So all of us play a role some way, shape, or form. Mostly everyone that's part of the team, we wear multiple hats. So you will see, like, even though Briana, I feel like she's the lead with the administrator. I am an administrator as well, but I'm there for a different purpose, more of serving like mindset development, helping with the public relations side of it. Of course, podcasting, all right, and streaming, getting the information. Now, everybody is a mentor in some way, shape, or form with the gifts that they have to offer to the ladies. And we all follow our core values of having integrity, accountability, respect, teamwork, and having a passion for what we do, and elevation. As you see us go on and on, I'm going to break down exactly what those facets is, what our core values are. But what we want you to do, if you would like to support the She Trucking movement, which I know that you do, you can support the foundation and make sure that you can give like a volunteer donation to help, because all of us, we're volunteers. We're doing this because we care and we want you to be safe, and we want you to have that awareness and support that you need so that you will avoid some of the pitfalls that they may have experienced in this industry. And let me tell you something, it's strength in numbers. It's strength in numbers. And when we learn to come together versus be on them all individual islands by ourselves, we will be able to make a greater impact. And this is what this is all about. So you'll be able to see Wanda in person. You'll be able to see a lot of these people in person if you go over to Kentucky. and be able to see them in person as they speak and as they pour into you. So what I'm going to do, this is the end of this particular episode. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in on today. Thank you, Felicia, for popping on. What we're going to do, we're going to end this today, ladies. Wanda, thank you for coming in, showing up, showing out. You know what I'm talking about. And Briana, thank you so much for doing the exact same thing. Because as you can see, people, she in her truck. She's in her truck. Okay, so she's working. She's on her little break right now, but she took the time to use her much needed break to pour into you. So make sure to support everything that we're doing with this, the nonprofit and also the She Trucking community. Ladies, I appreciate you. Thank you for everything that you do. And thank you for kicking off our new She Trucking podcast with the very first episode. I appreciate you. And you will be back again. I already know.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome. You guys have a great rest of your day. All right. Now, let me tell you something. Those ladies, they're so humble. They're so humble. If you want to donate, you simply go to paypal.me/She Foundation. That is donate. Well, you don't put donate, you put paypal.me/She Foundation to support the foundation. This helps everything to keep going, and so that we can keep pouring into the community. And yes, she said She Trucking. She said experience that shows. Love you, ladies. And Felicia said phenomenal information. Thank you so much for everybody that tuned in. Later, you'll be able to hear this on multiple podcasting platforms. You will also be able to watch it live on 24-hour streaming TV. Just for the sake of it, I am a visual person. So what I want you to be able to see is exactly the She Trucking Expo website.com. I want you to be able to see it. So right now, you can actually see the She Trucking. Someone said, Bonnie said, awesome podcast. Thank you. So as you can see right now, this is the She Trucking Expo .com, where we encourage you to go to. It actually will have a pop-up where you can put your name and email information. That is what I'm talking about, so that you will be able to be informed of what's going on with She Trucking, because it's a lot of moving things, a lot of different moving channels going in to make sure that your voices is heard and making sure that we're taking care of the drivers who are taking care of us. So for those of you who do not know, the She Trucking Foundation is a nonprofit 501(c) organization that is committed to helping women and minorities establish and maintain successful careers in the transportation industry. Membership, for those of you who would like to join as a member, will be open very, very soon. And for all this information and updates, just go to SheTruckingExpo.com, and you will see a lot of our She Trucking team and members at this year's MATS, that is Mid-American Trucking Show, where in Kentucky Expo Center. Yes, in Kentucky. You can register to go to join us at She Trucking. I'll be tied in from the virtual aspect, but we're going to have people virtual and in person so that you can learn and grow and be empowered. You can go and look at our 2021 She Trucking Expo that happened last year and see a lot that happened in regards to CNN News and all of the active participation that went forth last year for the She Trucking Expo, and look at some of our sponsors from that event. I encourage you to not only look at it, but take action and click that donate button to donate today, so that we can keep pouring into the community and helping them be successful in regards to making sure they have these resources consistently available to them on a regular basis. All right. And lastly, let me show you exactly the last place, because you heard me say web TV. I want you to be able to see where this is. You can go to CTR Media Network.com. That is CTR Media Network.com. And you can actively see past episodes of the She Trucking Expo speakers, along with any current information that's here on Trucking TV. It's going to be about trucking and the transportation industry 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you can watch it all for free. Why? Is because we want to make it very easy for you to get the support that you need. for those of you who want to just listen to only She Trucking, just simply click on the She Trucking logo and it will take you directly to all of the current podcasts and any ones that we have that we add to. You can listen. You can also subscribe to get further to get alerted when new podcast episodes are uploaded. All of which this is done for you for absolutely free. You can go watch and also make sure that you connect. All of this stuff was done with you in mind so that you can grow and know that you are not alone, okay? You're not alone. You have She Trucking now. You have She Trucking now. We got so many comments that coming in. She said, we are updating the website. Yes, I know, but I wanted them to get some eyeballs on it. You know, she is very professional. I love her. But we want them to see it so they can go to the website. Okay, because it is getting updated. Okay. And Bonnie said, can you donate any amount? Of course, any amount that your heart moves you to donate. You can even donate on a monthly basis. You either do it one time or you can choose to click the button and donate, you know, a little bit, however much you want. She said you can donate any amount. She said you want to know about the membership. Yes, they're going to be rolling out some information very soon about the membership, and I'll make sure to come on and show you everything about the membership so that you guys can be able to actively participate in it. Oh, thank you, Jennifer. No, you go, girl. No, you go. She said, looking forward to the next expo. We'll be keeping you updated when the next expo is occurring. But until then, you can look at all the amazing content that is already out online and which will be coming out very, very soon. So in all, you guys, I want to thank all of you on this amazing Sunday for tuning in to this first episode. Well, it's really not the first episode. It's kickstarting a new beginning for the She Trucking podcast. Sharae said it's going to be in 2023. She said because we are postponing it to 2023. But you guys, where can you see it? Don't be sad. Where can you still see them? Let me just show you. Go on over to the Mid-American Trucking Show. You can stop by at the She Trucking booth at the 40577. That's the booth in order to meet and greet, and also the information. We have multiple speakers that's going to be on stage sharing into you on the trucking industry as well. Okay. She said, all right, then 2023. So go ahead and put it on your books. So it's going to be amazing. So what we're going to do, I hate this, but we have to come to an end. Make sure to pay attention on the flyers because we have some more amazing events that's coming up as a pre-show for the match. Some of the speakers you're actually going to get to meet before they actually step foot on the stage. There will be coming on the She Trucking podcast, some of the match speakers from the Mid-American Truck Show that you'll actually be able to see in person, but get a little taste before they actually go over there. We have somebody say, hi, family. Hello. All right. So you guys have a great, amazing rest of your Sunday. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here, and we appreciate you. I am so happy to be here with you on today, and also simultaneously streaming this on the Tina Ramsay Show and podcast, CTR Media Network, and all She Trucking podcasts or She Trucking outlets. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to all the platforms so that you can stay aware of what's going on. Without further ado, bye. I'll see you guys the end of next week. Bye.
DJ Tony Dunn. She gon' take care of her bitch, she truckin'. She a woman with a rig, she truckin'. She gon' take care of her kids, she truckin'. Yeah, she a boss, she do it big, she truckin'. She truckin'. She a boss, she do it big, she truckin'. She a woman with a rig, she truckin'. She truckin'.